On today's episode, I'm talking to Matthew Jackson of Pulio's Pizza. Recently, there was a hurricane that hit the South. He did an amazing job kind of getting the community together to donate food, water, money for that hurricane relief. And local businesses like this need to be showcased. So I had him on the podcast. We're going to talk about what he did, how he did it, and how you can support these local businesses that are really there to be part of the community. So let's get into it with Matthew Jackson. All right, Matthew, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell everybody what you're doing, where you do it.
So I have a pizzeria here in Knoxville, Tennessee, called Pulio's Pizzeria.
And how long have you been doing that for?
We moved here from Florida about a year ago, from the Bradenton, Sarasota area.
Nice. What made you move to Knoxville from Florida?
Man, Florida got busy, man. Florida's so busy and crazy, expensive.
A little bit more laid-back lifestyle in Knoxville?
Yeah, a lot more laid back. So real Southern hospitality. It's a growing city for sure. College town, man, crazy.
Yeah. How far are you from, what's the next Nashville? How far are you from Nashville?
So I am 3 hours from Nashville, about 2 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours from Nashville.
That's not too bad. What kind of pizza do you serve?
So we're all New York hand tossed.
How'd you get into pizza?
Oh man, I was in between jobs like 20 years ago, man. My buddy, he owns pizzerias down in Florida. He's like, I need someone to, you want to help out. So I just started learning. He taught me, and then I never left the skill, never left the craft.
Really? You've been making pizza? How long ago was that?
20 years ago.
Wow. How long have you owned this place?
We've been open a year and 3 months.
Oh, so not too long.
Yeah, fairly new still.
How's business going?
Good, really good. Like I said, it's a growing city, so the city's got a lot of growth potential, and we're new here, and the area in this in Knoxville is a test market for a lot of restaurants. So there's tons of chains, like every chain you can possibly think of. This is the area. It's deemed recession proof up here. So it's not a lot of good mom and pop places.
So is something like your pizza shop not something that is readily available there?
I wouldn't say that. It's just there's not as many as there would be in other areas. There are so many chains that that when you're accustomed to eating chain food your entire life, that's what you're accustomed to. Like when we moved here, it was like Papa John's, Domino's. Yeah. That's people's go-to.
It's hard to as an independent to compete with those because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
And you want to do a good product, and if you want to do a good product with the buying power of a single unit, it's hard to compete with a chain that can buy.
Very hard.
Yeah, so like you have to almost convince the customers, like, all right, my pizza's better, taste it, you'll guarantee, but it's also worth the price I need to charge in order to be able to make a profit and a living.
Yeah. It's different up here too, like the demographic. Moving from Florida to here, not knowing anyone here, not knowing anything about this area, we brought what I thought was going to work because it worked down in Florida as well. And I changed a little bit of things. But I only offer two sizes of pizza, a 14-inch and 18-inch pie. That's
great. What did you find was different? Like what was different in your area versus in Florida?
Like I said, it is like the whole fact of people. There's more pizzerias down there. There's more independently owned restaurants down there. So you kind of find your little niche, and people like what you're doing. And up here, it was just you really have to prove yourself to the community and what you have going on.
Well, I mean, what you're doing, right? Because you're doing this. There are a lot of relief efforts and donations. Haven't you been doing that lately?
Yeah. So we started that the Friday. The storm came through on Friday, and we posted Friday, hey, we're going to go help out, because being from Florida, I've been through it. I've seen the floods. I've seen the storms and how it impacts people's lives, and how you lose everything and you don't know when you're going to get it back, how long it's going to take. And so I knew that doing something immediately was going to be it's going to have to be done fast. So posted, man, we raised the first in like 12 hours. We raised a little over $2,000 and about $4,000 worth of food
That's
and
crazy.
water, and we went and dropped it off. And we took 150 pizzas and fed the first responders on Saturday. And I like the response, and after going over there and seeing it, it's different. Like the storms in Florida, they come and they go, and you got devastation. Here, it came, it didn't leave. The dams, the landslides, the mudslides, the runoff from the mountains, it just doesn't stop.
Wow.
So the rivers kept flowing and had nowhere to put all this water. So it took out entire towns and entire cities up here.
Wow. That was not too long ago. That was only a few weeks ago, right?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So you're still doing that? You're still going through that?
Yeah, so we there's still a lot going on over there. So we're actively taking donations and drop offs and um, kind of figuring out what to do as far as what's the best where to take it. So we did that Saturday, and then we turned right around on Sunday, and I made a post on our Facebook saying, hey, we're going to close tomorrow. My staff and I, we're going to go out and we're going to cook food for the community. So we put my Venmo out there. We mustered up like a little over $13,000
Wow.
in food and cash donations. And we went out there Monday. We cooked hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, chips, cookies, just tons of snacks. And we fed a little over 1,000 people.
That's great. Good for you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
That's fantastic. So those were people who were kind of helping with the relief efforts, or the people who
Yeah.
lived in the community, or both.
So we fed the community. We went to the community center and fed the people that were like. So the issue there was they had no water. Their water main broke and the water was contaminated, so nobody could flush a toilet, take a shower, brush their teeth. Um, couldn't cook. So we supplied meals for, like I said, close to 1,000 people.
This is great. I think a lot of people want to do that. I don't know if they get overwhelmed or they don't know where to start. Like, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to help out in the community? Like, how did you get started, or how do they get started?
So it's hard. So I looked at it like, I have a platform with my pizzeria, my business page.
Yeah.
So I had a platform there. I already had a following. So I posted into their county. I was every county has their own Facebook page. Like
Yeah.
so it's called Cott County. I went to their Facebook page and I said, hey, I own a pizzeria locally in Knoxville. I'm about an hour away. I would love to come help and donate. Who can get me in contact with somebody? I'm talking like within like an hour, I was in contact with the sheriff
Really?
and or the chief of police, the sheriff, and the mayor within an hour. So we coordinated things where to go because you just don't want to go into a blind. That's the thing is like
Yeah.
going into a disaster area blind. You don't know what you're coming up against, who's there, what to do, where to go, if these people are who they say they are, and so yeah. Saturday we fed the first responders. Went back Monday and fed the community. Um, and then one of my local distributors here in Knoxville is a local distributor, food purveyor. He donated a little over 30,000 pounds of food just to me.
Wow, that's
And
great.
we took 4 big trailers, 15 pallets of chicken, popcorn chicken, breakfast sausage, turkey sausage, egg whites, a bunch of meals, stuff, and just dropped it off to a soup kitchen and a place up there called Feed My Sheep Ministries. And we took the food there and dropped it off to them.
So if you just kind of get started, you just like you reach out to your local government, the mayor, the sheriff, because they're probably, like you said, the people who are going to be able to organize it, where they can tell you what they need, where to go, who to talk to,
Yeah,
versus just like winging it.
they're going to put you in charge they're going to put you in contact with who's in charge of that. Obviously they're in charge, but they have delegated responses. They did delegate that out to a community leader, somebody that can really help them. And that's the thing is this community has never been through anything like that.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it was a little unorganized, but you have to expect that because not having to deal with this, on a yearly basis, there's no experience for it.
Yeah.
I mean, not luckily, but I hate to say it, but yeah, going through it in Florida quite a bit, you kind of see like how things should be formed and how things should be set up, and what people are actually going to need, and and that's one thing I want to say to a lot of people is people think it's, oh, I helped this week, they'll be good. Unfortunately, these people lost their homes, their lives, their means of work, their businesses, um, their family farms. This is a marathon. This is a year, 2 year. It's hard to recover from that.
Yeah.
Like you're losing complete entire towns. You're not going to come back from that.
Even if you have insurance doesn't just come in the next week and like, all right, here's money to rebuild your house and get everything you lost. It takes a long time for insurance to go through the process of getting you
Yeah,
refunded for everything you lost. So like you said, you need to be there for a year or so, especially if you lost your whole house. Like in Florida, they're going through it again right now. I have friends in Florida, either pizza shops or friends that live in Florida, and they're going through the latest
yeah,
hurricane that's hitting there. And, even in Orlando, where it didn't hit as bad as Tampa, they're still like, oh man, we have no power. Our business is closed for a couple days. Like they got to figure out how to recoup all of that. And they've been through it a lot. So a community like
yeah.
yours who hasn't had to deal with that before probably has no idea what to do.
I have family down there right now too. My brother, my sister, my daughter, friends. From going from Venice to Tampa, Orlando. So they all took the direct hit.
Yeah.
And talking to a bunch of them today, they're all different.
Yeah.
Every scenario is different. Some have no power. Some lost. My friend lost his total loss of his house.
Oh my God.
And that's it's up here is these folks up here, 99% of them did not have flood insurance. They don't. They were told they wouldn't need it. They would never need it, and that was what's happening. Like, spoke to a lady when I was cooking food on that Monday, and she had nice house, beautiful home, over $1 million home. She won't get it back.
That's crazy.
No flood insurance. So
Wow. And like, this is like there's a lot of businesses in the local community, but as a pizza shop owner, independent, we can move quick, right? Like you're the owner. So if you want to do something with the community, you can just make a decision, be like, you know what, we're going to help the community. We're going to go here. We're going to close tomorrow.
yeah,
There's no like bureaucracy of having to go through
yeah,
corporate or
no.
anything like that.
That's why I love what I do. Um, my background is fine dining. I've been in Ritz Carlton's, hotels, country clubs, executive chef. You know, the the politics and then the bureaucracy for that, it just takes too long.
Yeah.
If I want to change the color of a plate or change the color of something or do something on the menu, it takes too long. I have to go through too many channels. With this pizzeria, me and my father own it. Um, there's nobody. I don't have to ask anybody a question. It's like, hey, I want to go help the people. Let's do it.
Right.
I want to close tomorrow. Let's do it. And I could wake up in the morning and change our mind for anything.
Yeah. Has it affected business? Your business?
Yes and no. Well, we have a strong support system of the people who we helped out. They're very grateful. But no good deed goes unpunished. No matter what you do, someone's going to find the downfall in it. Someone's going to find the hate in it. And oh, you didn't help this community. You didn't help this community. And I will say that this is a live situation. Like you go out and you help people who are in a disaster zone. You can't go into it blind, because if you go into it blind and not going into an organized setup, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So for me and the safety of my team, we didn't go into a situation where it was not organized and not set up. Um, and it's going to sound a little rational to some people, but if you put somebody without food or water for 5 days, tell me how they're going to act.
Right.
You don't know how they're going to act. So we put ourselves in a position where we're going to go. We are safe. Our team is safe. We are giving it and giving enough to help multiple communities. Like the food we dropped off to the ministry, they took it to a dozen other communities. It's not just, it's the big areas that the news covers: Asheville, Newport, Tennessee. But there's all the small, Irwin, Tennessee, Greenville, Greene County. Um,
Wait, people were giving you
out
a
of
hard
town.
time?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Really? For
100%.
what?
Yeah. Uh, they have enough help. Why don't you come here and help us? Why don't you go here? I've got family here. Can you do a home drop off? Never, never, never do a home drop off. Like I tell this to anybody who wants to do something, like, don't personally go help anyone unless their life is endangered, and then you can see that for yourself. Just because you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
We literally, um, we were at a stop sign, and somebody laid down in front of our vehicle and tried to steal water off of a trailer.
Really?
So it happens, and it's like it's like, hey, what do you need? What do you want? I will. You can have whatever you need. Just, you can't take it all.
Right.
But you put yourself in those positions, they will take it all.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't understand the mentality of, especially for a local business, right? Like, complain to your government. That's who you pay to run the place. A local business
Yeah.
like yourself, who's just trying to help out, doesn't matter where you help out. If you're just as somebody who is part of the community is helping out, everybody should be appreciative. Like, you don't have all the resources in the world that can help every single person. You're trying to do the best you can and help who you can.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the thing is, and we had a few people turn our efforts very political, and you know, it's just like you're looking at them like, how did this become a political thing? We made donations, and when we were over there, we didn't ask age, sex, sexual orientation, gender, race.
Yeah.
You need help. You need food here. We didn't care. I don't care about your political status,
Right.
but in today's world, they made it political because of the government and whatnot, and who's doing what, and who's not doing enough.
Well, that's why I had you on the podcast. I think someone did the news cover your story. I think that's how we found you.
So yeah, we were literally wrapping up, and at the end of the day, we ran out of food, and a lady from NPR came and did an interview. We did like a 10-minute interview. I got like one line out of that. She took one line of my interview and posted it.
We'll play this whole
But
thing. Don't worry.
so it's cool. It's it's hard. Like it's hard if you're not there, and when you're not physically seeing what's going on, you aren't gonna know the severity of what's really there. Like there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's nothing that can give it the amount of justice it deserves, or how bad it actually is. Like, of course, they're not going to show you how bad the river is, and the bodies laying on the riverbanks. They're not going to show you that kind of stuff. But it happens. It's
Yeah.
a real life event. It's there.
We need more operators like yourself to. I mean, there's a lot of that's the great thing about independence. I do feel like independent pizza operators are always the ones that help out the most.
We had there was a massive oh, there was a massive outpour from the community. Um, like I said, we live an hour away in Knoxville, um, from the closest affected area, and this community pulled it together. There's tons of restaurants and tons of places that did things. And I'm not taking anything away from any large corporations, but like you said, there's a chain they have to go through before they can just pull the trigger
Yeah.
and be like, okay, hey, let's do this. Um, we I'm not afraid to go into a business and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've got going on. Can you help me out? I approached a few large corporations, and I said, hey, this is what I've got going on. We're going over there. Any chance you can give us like 10-15% off? We're about to spend a couple $1,000. The response was no. Like, in hindsight, you've got to respect it because they're a large business. But at the end of the day, you're in the community with these people. Like, we spend
Right.
a lot of money with your business. Um, but yeah, I shop local. I eat local as much as possible. Um, and that's just your money goes a lot farther with a local business than it does with a large corporation.
Yeah, especially appreciation wise, right? Like, this is what
Oh,
happens when
100%.
when something goes wrong. The people who own those businesses in the local community definitely come together faster than the corporation. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're not an owner of a business, you're just like a consumer, you can go get pizza at one of those big chains and get it for cheaper. But when something happens in your community, those big chains aren't going to be the ones that help and come together and support. They're going to They're going to be kind of sitting on the sidelines or have these big headlines in the paper that say, "Oh, we helped this community in random situations." But like people like yourself who own those local businesses in that community are going to be in the trenches actually doing things.
Yeah. We like I said, the money we collected, 100% of that money went, and plus more money out of my personal account went to buy diapers. I went to, and I went to Dollar Tree, and I mean, I bought every single LED flashlight they had, every single toothbrush, all the deodorant, toothpaste. It's the little things that people don't think about. Oh, food, food, food. Food's great, but there's no way, people need to use the bathroom. They want to brush
Yeah.
their teeth. Um, they need to take a sink shower. They need to wash up because there's no running water. So baby wipes, things like that. They're like, um, those help out a lot. Batteries, just all the little stuff that a lot of people don't think about. Food, water, 100% great. I noticed that the things that if you're in really really in dire need of food and something that's going to last, and you don't have refrigeration, you don't have means to cook. Um, it's beef jerky, uh, the protein cheese pack, protein cheese, and the dried meat. Those things are going to last way longer and go a lot farther for your body and your nutrients than a can of soup.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like I said, it's a good feeling to be able to help and give back, um, and doing it, doing it from the heart and not doing it for anything. And that's what it is. Like we didn't hesitate, man. We jumped on it. We jumped on the ball and was like, hey, if I was that, I would want the help from somebody, and I put together a great team. Like I've been here a year in Knoxville. I met some amazing people that have really helped out. Not only my like loyal customers, my all my regulars, but I've met some really great people that I've become friends with. And I called them. And I was like, hey, I need to transport this food. Can you help? And I have a friend named Mike. Uh, he owns Freedom Towing. He helped out. Didn't even question it. Hey man, let's go. He showed up at my pizzeria with a pallet full of water, and I
That's
was like, let's
great.
go. My buddy Will, who owns Big Orange Hauling, I was like, hey man, I gotta take 30,000 pounds of food. I mean, he's got the trucks and the means and the trailer to do it all. So he, where are we going? What time? He
That's
jumped
great.
on it, it's like those kind of people are the people that you really want to rely on. And we're all small business owners. We're all local to the community, and it's no one reimbursed us for our gas, our time. We did it because one day we might need help, and we just hope we receive the reciprocation.
Where are you still collecting donations and money and stuff?
Yeah, we still are. I'm doing a local. I have a drop off at the pizzeria. I have people who dropping off, water, chips. I've kind of limited the things to drop off. Not so much, not so much clothes, but like if you want to drop off diapers, water, formula, chips, single serve bags of chips, any type of water, little small LED flashlights, things like that. 'Cause some of these people aren't gonna have power for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, I'm taking donations through my Venmo, and um, yeah, and that's.
You'll have to send me
But
links to those so we
it's
can add them to this if you, in case people
okay.
want to like to kind of check that out.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
how
I'll
is
send
it?
you the
How
link.
has this affected your business like day to day?
Day to day. So we're pretty. I'm small, man. I'm a 1,200 square foot operation. I don't
Do
have
you
a
do
lot of
delivery
room.
and takeout, or is it just dine in, or what is
So
it?
I do. I have three small tables,
Yep.
um, three four top booths. I do takeout, walk-ins, dine-in, delivery through third-party apps. Um, Slice is our preferred app.
Yeah.
We rely on Slice, for bulk of our sales. We are in a college town, and the you know the ease of someone just hopping on their phone and the convenience of hopping on your phone and being able to order pizza and not having to
Yeah.
talk to somebody. That's the way of the world. The world is going that way, and we have to have these third-party apps to survive. And we used to do delivery in house. We stopped it after my sister passed away, and we've
Sorry to hear that.
we thank you, man. We went to just using straight third party apps. Coming from Florida, we did 10-mile delivery radius, no problem. You get there and back in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
10 miles up here in the country, I'm gone for like an hour and a half, 2 hours on one delivery.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we can't do 10-mile radius anymore. Um, but it's like, so the apps save our life, man. That's what it is. It's just
So
like I
do you
said, I
take your
can't.
orders? Do you take your orders through Slice and then you deliver them through the third party, or how do you do that?
Yeah, we take our orders through Slice and deliver them to the third party. They're set up with another third party to deliver and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, it's it's great on that end. There are bumps. There are a few hiccups with when you do third party delivery, but most people understand.
Yeah.
What
I
it
think
is
the
and what's
younger
going on.
generation of folks like are used to those apps anyway, even though they're kind of a pain and they're expensive and we would rather not have them. I think the delivery aspect, like you're doing it, I think that's the only positive. Like as a business, being able to kind of use their delivery drivers to deliver food to, like you said, a bigger demographic of people than you would be able to serve if you had
Yeah,
your own drivers. Like in Florida, the joke is in Florida, isn't it? Like everything's 25 minutes away, regardless if it's like 2 miles or 20 miles. It's like 25 minutes
yeah,
away.
yeah. Yeah. No matter what you're driving, and that's the thing here is like nobody wants to drive. These like there's a town right next to us called Farragut. It's all part of Knoxville. Farragut doesn't come into where I'm at, West Hills. Uh, you know, there's the areas they don't go too far because of the traffic is
Yeah.
it's getting bad here, and nobody wants to drive anywhere. So I understand. But yeah, the third party apps, we are, like I said, we are a small business. We love cash. Cash is king. Cash will always be king. And we support and we promote people using cash, but obviously we have to order online. That's okay too. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. Um, Cash just helps small business go a long way.
Yeah, for sure. It's like becoming less and less. I remember when I started operating the pizzeria back in like, I was like, I'm old. So I started 25 years ago in the pizza shop business. Like it was credit cards was a very small percentage, it was like 10 or 15% of your overall transactions. Now it's probably flipped.
Yeah. So, um, I'm sitting at like probably 30% on credit card. I'd say 60% on tablets
Yeah.
and 10% cash.
Yeah. Nobody uses that. Nobody even really carries cash anymore.
No, no, and it's we offer a cash discount, so we have a lot of like our regulars and our loyal customers. They come
Yeah.
in, they come in ready. They know they're going to save $1 with us. So,
What's your most popular pizza?
um, so we have probably the prime time. That's our most popular pizza. Um, I just did a menu revision back in July, and I added a pizza called Pizza Roulette.
Yeah. What's that?
And so I'm like I said, given my background, I pizza's great. Pizza's amazing. But there are people out there who enjoy pizza, but are tired of the traditional pepperoni, traditional cheese. So every day at the pizza shop, I make an esoteric pizza, and I call it Pie of the Day. So pie of the day changes literally daily, and we've been
Oh,
open
wow.
over a year. I have not duplicated a pie yet.
Wait, so you've done a different pizza every day for over a year?
For over a year, and then it's not your normal toppings. I'm talking. I've done Szechuan chicken. I've done steak chimichurri, peanut butter and jelly,
Oh, wow.
um, Detroit style Chicago deep dish, big 30-inch pie, garlic knot crust. So I've been becoming known for doing the pie of the day. People call, "Wait, what's pie of the day today?" They'll call before I even open. They'll come in just for that. They'll drive an hour plus to come get pie of the day.
That's great.
But it's sold by the slice only. It is not for a whole pie. So I got so much interest in people wanting a whole pie that I put on the menu of pizza roulette. So you call in or you place an order and you order roulette and you say, I tell me your dislikes. If you don't like mushrooms, if you don't like onions, if you don't like this, I won't put it on the pie. After that, I have free reign to do it whatever I want. And you're not going to get something off my menu. You're going to get something that is like um, man, I wish I could show you some pictures of the pies today. They're just off the
Send them
wall
to me. Send them
crazy.
to me. We done with this podcast. 'Cause we'll put them like
Okay,
we're all.
so I'm talking stuff that people are like, wow, that is unique, that is different. Um, you know, I've cut the pie in little triangles and done stuffed pocket squares, like make a pie in the middle, but stuff it with like a calzone, so you get a
Yeah.
pie and a calzone.
What a great
Um,
idea.
I've done, you know, and I got people who that's all they order. They order the pizza roulette. So
How do you come up with
like,
like so many different ideas? I feel like you run out of ideas.
man, I have no idea. Right, I literally pull them I pull them out of thin air. So you know, I ask people, hey, give me, you know, pizza roulette takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
15 of that, 20 minutes of that is me like literally let the gears start turning. Let me figure this out.
So you're really doing it on the
And
fly.
I do it on the fly, yeah, just off the cuff. And same thing with pie of the day. I wake up. Sometimes I haven't planned out. Like this week is you know, we're in Knoxville, it's Tennessee Vols, so it's Gator Hater week. So I'm doing gator pies Friday and Saturday. So I've got those planned out. I bought some elk, some antelope. You know, I'm doing like game pies. Um, but yeah, they're off the cuff, man. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't know what I'm gonna make.
That's great. I mean, that makes it fun though, because I feel like most people who are pizza shop owners kind of get stuck in Groundhog Day, right? Like every day feels exactly the same over and over and over again. It
Yeah,
never changes. It's a good way to mix it up.
and I yeah, and I tell people, hey, you know, and the good thing about it is I never write them down. You'll probably never get you will never get the same pie. It'll be almost impossible for you to get the same exact pie.
That's a
And
great experience for
you
people
know,
too, to get something unique that they can't get anywhere else, or even from you another time.
right. And that's kind of what set us apart a little bit is offering something, you know, in this business you have to offer something either A, better than everybody else,
Yep.
B, different from everybody else. You know, so if you can do both, you're good.
Yeah, this is great. Matthew, this has been fantastic. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're running the pizzeria back there, so appreciate you taking the time hanging out with me. Where can people go follow you or check out what you're doing?
So you can follow me at paleospizzeria.com. I mean, paleospizzeria.com is my website. Paleo's Pizzeria Kingston Pike is my Facebook. And if you would like to donate anything to this disaster relief over here in East Tennessee, it is M Jackson 229 on Venmo.
Okay. We'll link all that up. Send me all that information too when we get off of this. Don't hang up yet, but send me all that information. We'll link it all up. And
Okay.
those pictures too. I want to see some of those pictures of the roulette pizza. That sounds
Yeah, no
freaking fun.
problem.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, local pizza shops are always part of the local community. Local, right? And we get hit up all the time for donations and for events, and we love being part of the community. But it's like people like this, Matthew Jackson, who says, you know what? I can do something. Even though I'm a small pizza shop in a local community, independently owned, I can still impact that local community. And I love seeing that and hearing stories like this. So if you are one of those people who are doing things like Matthew Jackson at Pulio's Pizza, hit us up. We want to tell stories of independent pizzerias like yours and showcase you, because that's what keeps the local community together, is people who live in that community supporting the other people in that community, and we want to highlight those folks. So if that's you, let us know. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Everything about Matthew will link up in the comments below, so we'll see you next time.